Are you ready for that sauce? Because that sauce was ready for you. This week's Monday Night Raw was banging. I thought it started off great, even though it's a promo. We got Bobby Lashley, the Almighty, cutting a promo about it's his time, and I believe him. Right after that, we had The Miz come out and say he wants his revenge and he's getting his title back. Well, The Miz and Bobby Lashley have a WWE Championship curtain jerker match, which was okay. The Miz was funny, but he got pummeled and it was believable. Bobby Lashley won. Shocker. And right after that, we get an awesome backstage promo from Drew McIntyre. He's like, I can't believe you there, laddie. Bobby Lashley should have waited for me and had a real match. Eddie went and took out The Miz early. But that's okay, because out of nowhere, Sheamus blindsides Drew McIntyre, and it is on. He pummels him and then goes off. This sets up for that no DQ match later. I can't wait. Next we get Braun Strowman. I demand an apology from Shane McMahon, which Shane gives him. That led us into the no DQ match with Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. Sheamus is coming out. Drew gets him from behind with some payback from earlier. Yes! The match is brutal. They're outside of the ring. They're back in the ring. Kendo sticks for everybody to get beat. They both land their finish. You got a claymore. You get a bro kick. Then they both nail each other with a steel steps. Neither man can answer the ref, so the ref stops it. Brutal, but epic. Shane McMahon decides to call Braun Strowman back out to the ring. Well, they get out there, and nothing happened. Then Shane acts like he wants to call him stupid. Braun Strowman decides, I don't want to be called stupid. And runs away from him, and it seems like he jumps in a Jeep and speeds away. But no, and as Braun walks away mad because he couldn't catch Shane, Shane laughs at him and calls him stupid. I didn't like it. I thought it sucked. Backstage, we seen AJ Styles cutting a promo, and he decided to talk about Randy Orton in the Fiend's drama. And Randy Orton just happened to come along. Ends up challenging AJ to a match, and he accepts it. Sounds good. We got some good matches. We had Xavier Woods beat Shelton Benjamin. We had Matt Riddle beat Slipstick. And Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defeat Lana and Naomi. Okay matches, but not the end of the world if you missed them. The main event was pretty good. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton could be a WrestleMania match if built up the right way. The match starts off pretty good. They're going back and forth. AJ hits some high flying, gets control of the match. Randy, though, he comes back, gets control of the match too. They're going pretty good, but then AJ gets the calf crusher in. But Randy Orton manages to get out to the ropes. He's setting up for the RKO and almost yanks AJ out to safety. Then Alexa Bliss appears up on the screen, giggling, further hinting that the Fiend's going to make his return and he's going to be coming at Randy Orton. I cannot wait for that. Well, during this, Randy Orton starts coughing up the black stuff again. AJ Styles hits the phenomenal forearm. 1, 2, 3. AJ stole it from Randy with Randy being distracted. And the whole time, Alexa Bliss just laughed on the Titantron afterwards. If it comes to Raw, I think it had sauce. I don't know about you, but this week Impact had the sauce. Impact nails it yet again by starting the show off with a match instead of a promo. Who'd have thought? It was good. Tasha Steele versus Jazz. I liked it. Match started crappy, but it's okay. They got better. Long story short, Jazz won it with a STF submission. Then they had Raju and Shera versus James Storm and Chris Sabin. It was good. I liked the match. Started off solid. A lot of good wrestling. But in the middle of it, Raheem and Shera start arguing for some reason. I don't understand why. Chris Sabin was able to take it. Him and James nailed the finish. 1, 2, 3. We got a winner. Violence by design. I love violence by design. I really do. We pick up with them. Apparently they've been beating on poor Cody Deaner for 2 weeks now. James Storm and Chris Sabin walking by fresh off their match. Happen to see this, walk up and try and stick up for Cody and get a beating for their trouble. Later, Cousin Jake says, don't worry, I got y'all's back, because they get a match at Sacrifice. That quick. It was good. I liked it. Alright, then we get Scott D'Amore. He's my favorite part of Impact almost. Brian Myers is still trying to get out of his job and having to wrestle by sending a whole bunch of legal stuff to Scott D'Amore. Scott D'Amore tricks him into saying, do you agree to a holds harmless match? I never knew this, but that's a no rules match basically. Brian Myers says yes, but he didn't know no about it. Too late. Match at Sacrifice. Brian Myers versus Eddie Edwards. I love Scott D'Amore. This is what I watch Impact for right now. Trey Miguel and Sami Callihan's feud. He had a match with a guy named Sam Bill that trains at his gym. Sami Callihan tricked him into challenging for a match. Trey accepted. Sam starts strong. Trey counter. It's that hot new hourglass submission. Have you ever seen something that starts with a sharpshooter and ends in an armbar? It's awesome. Sammy laughs. He goes to come get him. Sammy teleports to the ring. Package pile drivers. Poor Sam Bill. Right as Trey's getting to him again, he's out of the ring. Didn't nobody see where he went. Alright, I'm more of a realistic wrestling fan, but I like Scotty Callahan. I think he's great. We had the contract signing with the Good Brothers and Finn Juice. I thought it was great personally. Scott D'Amore was there. That's like, alright, sign the contract for y'all's title match for the Impact Tag Team titles. Like, okay, but let's have a drink first. So they decided to have a drink. That's like, alright, now sign out. Well, hold on, let's drink. Scott's like, I see where this is going. Deuces. Sure enough, they have a few more shots. Finally signed the piece of paper, which was cool. Go to take one more shot. Right as Finn Juice is about to do it, they throw their drinks in the Good Brothers' face, and a fight breaks out. I love salsa. So Ace Austin and Chris Bay had an incredible match, with Ace saying, hey, Madman Fulton, just take a seat, homie. I got this. The match starts off good. We see incredible chain wrestling. Heel versus heel. It was utter perfection. I loved every bit of it. Ace manages to hit some high-flying moves, but Chris is always right there on him. This match would stay competitive the entire time. They finally get up where they're fighting on the top rope, and something goes wrong. They both take a fall. To the floor! There were major near falls. But at the end, TJP comes out, and he lures Madman Fulton off to the back. This distracts Ace Austin long enough for Chris Bay to hit the Art of Finesse. 1, 2, 3... upset. You didn't see it coming. I thought Ace had it. So then we're at the Trailer Park Casino, Swingers Palace. TJP shows up to collect a debt. Ash Alexander shows up. They talk some trash. Have a good one. It wasn't as good as it usually is. I was starting to like it. Now I'm like, ODB versus Susan. Impact's women wrestling is definitely more interesting than anywhere else. It was okay, I think. ODB dominated Susan. Susan at one point went for a low blow, which ODB was like, why? Susan gets a little of a comeback, then goes over and pours out ODB's flask, and I was like, oh, you done messed up. ODB does not like it. Samoan drop. 1, 2, 3. We got your winner. Here comes Kimberly and Deonna Purrazzo. They try and jump ODB, but here comes Jazz and Jordan to even it up. But unbeknownst to them, here comes Fire and Flavor behind them. Big fight breaking out. It was good. Love it when the ladies fight. It basically ends up with Fire and Flavor and Deonna Purrazzo standing tall, holding up their women's title and knockout tag team title. It was okay. I ain't got nothing bad to say about it. He got that major announcement finally that we all knew was coming, but we couldn't wait to get anyway. Scott D'Amore has announced that Sacrifice, the TNA World Champion, will face the Impact World Champion. They will unify their title, and the winner will go straight to Rebellion in the main event against Kenny Omega, title versus title, AEW World title and Impact title. Oh man, I've been waiting for this to happen, and it's gonna be great. They also furthered that storyline of Don Callis being the man behind everything. His little subtle appearance there at the end, it was good. I'm not gonna lie, compared to Raw, double the sauce. But a lot can still happen. Then there came Dynamite, and it had sauce. I think Dynamite and Impact are killing it because they always start the show off with a wrestling match. And not just a wrestling match, a good wrestling match. For example, Dynamite started with Rey Fenix versus Matt Jackson. That is incredible. Possible 5-star match. Match starts off crazy, but good. Got Rey Fenix flying around the ring. Matt Jackson counters. At one point, I see them nail two Canadian destroyers. One inside, one outside. Nuts. There were super kicks, enziguris. Matt sets up Rey Fenix for a tombstone, but then Rey reverses it, hits Matt with it. 1, 2, 3. There's your winner. And I didn't see it coming. That's why it's great. Then you got Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. They're together now, and that's cool. Cutting a promo about what happened at Revolution. It wasn't the worst promo I ever heard. Certainly wasn't the best. It was okay. Then we had a squash match. Cody versus Seth something. It was okay. It was a really quick squash. Cody power slams him, throws him in the figure four, dude taps. Before the match, Cody did hook a fan up with his weightlifting belt. I was like, aww. It was okay. We go to a post-match promo, and right as Cody starts talking, Pentagon Jr., or El Zero Mito, starts talking trash to him, interrupts him and whatnot. At one point he says, you're lucky in that match, because if I'd have got to you, I'd have broke your arm so bad you won't be able to pick up your newborn kid. Good enough. Comes Cody. They get to scrapping. They get pulled up. I like they're planting seeds. It's my kind of thing. Then we had Ethan Page versus Lee Johnson. Ethan Page debuted, picked up the win. Starts getting heat on Lee Johnson. Lee Johnson's mentor, QT Marshall, just leaves him out there. Next, Kenny Omega, Don Callis, and the Good Brothers come out. They decide, I know Christian Cage is supposed to get an interview, but, you know, we're doing this. To the ring, they start talking mad trash about Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley. Eventually, Eddie walks out to the ring, daring him to punch Kenny, which he does. Kenny goes down, one-hitter quitter, start pummeling on Eddie Kingston. But then here comes Jon Moxley for the save. Hooray! After that, Christian Cage's music hit. Kenny's getting up, he's coming back. He sees Christian Cage. They get this tense moment in the ring. Kenny goes for a cheap shot. He's like, nah. Goes to do the flatliner. Don Callis pulls Kenny out just in time. The whole thing was awesome. I loved it. Next we had Britt Baker, Nyla Rose, and Maki Ito. I love Maki Ito now. Versus Thunder Rosa, Hikaru Shida, and Ryu Mizunami. The match was funny. That's the best word. Maki Ito was at the top. She started singing her song, and she didn't stop even when all the women went to fighting like hell. Well, the match finally gets started. It's okay. It was a lot of comedy. Thunder Rosa is able to put Maki Ito down. Hated to see that, but it was okay. After all that, Britt Baker and the lockjaw. They're setting up for their major rival. I loved it. It was great. Where has Maki Ito been my whole life, I wonder? Then you got Scorpio Sky versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship. The match was incredible. Both guys look absolutely great. You got a lot of good, solid technical wrestling, maneuvers, counters, reversals, what you want in a wrestling match. At the end, though, Scorpio Sky's dominating. He throws Darby Allin up on his shoulders. He's going for the TK. And then Darby hits him out of nowhere with the most dangerous move in wrestling. Surprise roll up. Darby's got him. 1, 2, 3. There's your winner. Scorpio Sky looks stunned. But Darby Allin's like, you know what? He comes over and gives the guy a good pat on the back. He's like, good job, dude. Scorpio Sky pummels him and then tries to break his foot off. Ugly. This was the best part of the night for me, the Inner Circle War Council. If you missed it, don't worry, I watched it at least 3 times. It was that good. They all come out, and it seems like MJF is about to turn the whole Inner Circle against Chris Jericho. Double cross. Sammy has came out, had the dirt on MJF. Turns out they were ahead of this the whole time. Everybody turns on MJF. Triple cross. MJF is laying there. He's on the ground like, please don't pick me up. I didn't know it. You gotta understand I wouldn't take it over. Because I was forming my own group. Unpredictable villains go out. They come back on. There's Shawn Spears, FTR, and Tully Blanchard. They pummel Inner Circle. They put Sammy's face through a chair. Plus bottles over Jake Hager's power drive. Santina and Ortiz handcuffed. Oh my God. That's for last. They pick Chris Jericho up and they throw him off the stage through a table. Brutal! Loved it. Oh my God, the sauce. It was there, the sauce. And then came Smackdown. I gotta tell you the truth, I fell asleep watching Smackdown. Keeping it WWE, Smackdown started with a promo from Edge that was interrupted by Daniel Bryan, and guess what? Not much came up. They start off with a bang. They're gonna have an 8-man tag match. The Street Profits and Dominic and Rey Mysterio versus Otis, Chad Gable, Dolph Ziggler, and Robert Roode. Sounded great, but it was boring. And then the Street Profits and Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio won. We had Cesaro versus Buddy Murphy. It was an okay match. Cesaro wins. Seth attacked him afterward. Then we got Sami Zayn versus Big E, and Big E destroyed Sami Zayn. But it was okay. Afterwards, Apollo Crews attacks Big E from behind and then smashes him with the steps. It's really starting to see a pattern with this dude and steps. Then there was Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair versus Natalya and Tamia. Okay, Natalya and Tamia won. WWE Hall of Fame was getting going. We just found out that Molly Holly has been announced as the first inductee into the 2021 WWE Hall of Fame. I'm thrilled for her. Good for her. Then we had a big contract signing between Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns for Fastlane. Sounds like a good match. I'm ready for it. First, Roman Reigns is like, I'm not feeling it. Daniel Bryan is able to talk him into signing the contract by calling him scared. Jey Uso acts like he's going to do something. He does. Comes Edge as a big brawl breaks out. And then right at the end of it, is Edge and Daniel Bryan have put Roman Reigns and Jey Uso out. Daniel Bryan hits Edge with a flying knee. No sauce, Smackdown. No sauce. It was boring. So, it seems like this week, wrestling had sauce, but you know who didn't? WWE. I'm not scared to say it. After watching AEW, Impact, watching a little Ring of Honor, Raw and Smackdown seem boring, but I still love wrestling.